Recording.
Hi, I'm Garrett.
I'm Danielle.
Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Kyle.
Oh, and there's the PowerPoint. Did you know that each year 1 in 4 deaths in the United States can be attributed to alcohol, tobacco, or illicit drug use? What about the fact that substance abuse costs the United States over $600 billion annually? The fact that over 9 million children live with a parent dependent on alcohol or illicit drugs is unacceptable, and something needs to be done to stop it. The sources I used for this speech are University of Colorado Hospital Center for Dependency, Addiction, and Rehabilitation, the National Institute on Drug Abuse, WebMD, DiscoveryHealth.com, Intervention ASAP, Esquire Magazine, World Health Organization, National Drug Intelligence Center, RenewEveryday.com, Crossroads Center, and BelieveInRecovery.com. My name is Kelsey Patton, and today I'm going to bring attention to a serious issue facing our nation. The problem is the lack of awareness that addiction is a disease and the lack of providing treatment to those that suffer from it. I believe that by making society more aware of the illness will be the first step in encouraging people to provide help to addicts, which is the only way that those suffering from the disease will ever get the opportunity to get their lives back on track. Before we talk about treatment and its effects as a solution, let's discuss the problem in more detail. Many people do not understand why or how other people become addicted to drugs. People just assume addicts make bad decisions and that they have no hope in life. The reality is, drug addiction is a complex disease, and quitting takes more than good intentions and a strong will. Quitting takes the help and support of healthy acquaintances and encouragement to seek treatment. Addiction is a chronic, often relapsing brain disease that causes impulses to abuse substances, but while ignoring the effects to themselves and those around them. Drugs contain chemicals that tap into the brain's communication system and disrupt the way nerve cells normally send, receive, and process information. Addiction also contributes to illnesses that are the top 3 causes of death: heart disease, cancer, and stroke. Substance abuse causes the average person to die 26 years earlier than they normally would have. Sadly, though, 1 in 13 American adults suffers from alcoholism, and 6 million Americans have drug problems. Though the numbers are staggering, they are not helpful to portray the extent of the problem. A shocking fact is that 1/4 of all emergency room admissions, 1/3 of all suicides, and more than half of all issues of homicide and incidents of domestic violence are alcohol related. There is a clear need to reduce these numbers. The challenge is that to diminish these numbers, addicts must receive help. They cannot do it alone because, as Eric Clapton once said, addiction does not negotiate. Addiction does not just affect the user. It affects their families, friends, and society as a whole. Violent behavior attributed to substance abuse accounts for 60% of child abuse, and fetal alcohol syndrome is the leading known cause of mental retardation. Studies have shown that parents who abuse drugs often put their need to obtain drugs before the welfare of their children. The destructive paths of addicts are highly correlated with family disintegration, loss of employment, failure in school, and domestic violence. Drug use also puts a heavy financial burden on society. Billions of dollars are wasted, the GDP is lowered, and criminal activities are higher because of addiction. Studies have shown that over 23 million people need treatment for some type of substance abuse, but only 11% ever receive it. This means that there are still 20 million addicts out there abusing children, wasting the money of society, participating in criminal activities, and causing harm to themselves and others. Until society recognizes this as a problem, we will never be able to successfully implement a solution. I believe that by making society more knowledgeable about addiction as a disease, we will break down the barrier of unfamiliarity and make it easier for people to encourage addicts to seek help. By informing people about the signs, symptoms, and dangers of addiction, individuals will feel better prepared in recognizing an addict, staging an intervention, and encouraging them to receive help. I believe that knowledge is powerful and that society will be more comfortable offering help once they have the right information. Just as you wouldn't expect a person to be able to cure themselves of cancer without a doctor, you shouldn't expect an alcohol or drug addiction to be able to cure itself. Addiction can kill, but it can be stopped in its tracks. There are many pathways to recovery, but it takes dedication to make them happen. Treatment centers use medical, psychiatric, and behavioral therapy to heal not only the symptoms of addiction, but also the underlying motives that preceded the abuse in the first place. Mutual aid programs such as Alcohol Anonymous make treatment feasible for everyone, even if private rehabilitation centers are not an option. Statistics show that at least 1/3 of alcoholics fully recover if they seek treatment for their addiction. The results are just as high for other substances. By implementing a plan for awareness and treatment, we can increase the recovery rates and see the devastation caused by addiction reduced dramatically. Eric Clapton is one of many success stories of addiction recovery. After struggling for decades with dependencies on heroin, cocaine, and alcohol, he went into rehab and embraced the Alcoholics Anonymous program. Since the 90s, Clapton has been sober and has become a proponent for addiction treatment. In 1997, Clapton started Crossroads Center in Antigua with the mindset that it could be a serene place where one could begin the process of healing from even the most devastating events and life situations. It is this determination that makes addiction a combatable problem. As you can see, the number of people battling addiction is high, and the number of those affected by it in some way is even higher. By providing the knowledge to society that addiction is a disease much like cancer or diabetes, we can be more proactive in advising addicts through the treatment process. Although we may be a ways out from seeing results, we must keep persevering and help all those we can. As Reed Murphy once said, when journeying down the long, dark road, we must continue on and never give up faith we'll one day reach our destination.